Hey everybody. So there's a few Wham Bam Story Slammer regulars. I don't know if we have a nickname yet or not. For the rest of you, I'll try to keep the exposition of this story really neat and moving along. So I was raised Mormon, and long story short, I'm not anymore. But I served a Mormon mission. I did a 2-year Mormon mission in Germany. And Mormon missions there's a mission leader who's the leader of the church, or of that group of missionaries. And so they're essentially they're receiving revelation directly for that group of missionaries while they're serving. He's like the boss, he's the support, he's the father, he's the guy in charge, like in place of God, basically. And my mission president he's not a good dude at all. So that kind of gives some insight into the previous part about me not being Mormon anymore. He's not a good guy. He was kind of a liar and a manipulator and did bad things. I just don't like the way he ran things. So Mormon missions it's a very strict regimented time, and there's rules about everything. So we are not allowed to watch TV, have a radio in our apartment. We weren't allowed to use computers, listen to music, read books. We were not allowed to be out past 9. All of those things. There's just this really strict set of rules. Now, I was a badass Mormon missionary, and I broke all the rules. And it was I was the cool guy, because I would go to YouTube sometimes, and that would if they had found out, I would have gotten sent home, and I was like, yo guys, watch this YouTube video, and they're like, shh, don't tell anybody. But so I was breaking all the rules and feeling great about it, and still doing my best to be a good person and to be helping and helping the church. But my buddy's birthday was coming up, and we had this little underground culture of disobedient missionaries that we knew who the disobedient ones, and at the gatherings we'd be like, yo, check out this comic book, and we'd hand them a comic book clandestinely. And so one of my disobedient buddies was having a birthday, and so what we did was we all decided to gather, and we were going to gather in the town that I was living in at the time, because we knew that one of the internet cafes there had some Xboxes with Halo 3, and we're like, happy birthday, man. Come on over, we're all going to play some Halo. And so we did. We had 6 missionaries who were all the cool, disobedient ones. And we hooked up on a couple of TV screens, and we just played Halo for hours. And it was the coolest thing. I don't even really like Halo that much. But I was just it was so much fun, and it was amazing. And we're if people find out, our parents will never talk to us again. It was a bad thing that we had done. And the next day was what we call Zone Conference, which is when all the missionaries meet in that area. So I was in the Dusseldorf zone at the time, and we all met in Dusseldorf, and our mission president came, and he was given one of his little speeches, which were always a disaster, and always just full of business and not love. That was the biggest problem. They were always just full of numbers and business and not full of love, which is what they should have been full of. And he was sitting there, and he was telling us about how to focus. He's you gotta be focused, you know? And he's you can't be just be out here and be distracted by worldly things. He's because then it's just you're playing games. And I'm what is, and he's it's just you're playing Halo. And he looks out, and I'm just to my buddy Mitch behind me, I'm what is happening? That was the first and only time I ever thought that man might actually receive revelation from God. A year and a half later, nothing ever happened. It was the weirdest coincidence of all time. Or part of a series of weird coincidences. But I've always thought about that one. That was a really weird one, and I just can still picture that guy just smugly looking out at this whole crowd of all of us and picking the 6 of us out and just be playing Halo. And we just sat there, and then we're all fine. And that's the end of my story.